What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Let's Build the U.S.S. Voyager Season 1, Episode 44. I'm Zero Elite, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me and supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. Today we've got about a 15-minute episode. We're going to be picking up right where we left off in Episode 43, working on the deflector dish area in the top section of the saucer. And then we're also going to start working on the I don't know what it's called. Don't hold it against me that I don't know what it's called within canon, but it's the circuit board piece that sits right behind the deflector dish on the saucer. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. So without further ado, let's kick back, relax, and we're just going to jump right into this. We're going to start it off by closing in the gaps here that we have. I told you guys we're going to be coming back to this side, and I think just what we're going to do for now, we're just going to fill it in with half slabs. Now we're not done with the top section of the saucer. We are going to be making some adjustments to the layering process. But we haven't gotten there quite yet in the tutorial process. We still have some things that we are going to have to do first before we get there. Yeah, like I said, at this point, just filling in those gaps. And it doesn't look terrible. And I mean, you know, here's the thing too, like even when we come back, we make adjustments to the overall shape of the top section of the saucer. If you guys decide, like, you know what, I don't need to do all that, I'm good with it, don't change it, you know? So I say, at the end of the day, do what works for you. This whole tutorial process is just going over my process step by step as far as what I did. But just because I did something on my build doesn't mean that it's going to work perfectly for yours. So you might want to make some changes to that. I welcome it, you know. These builds are customizable. I mean, literally any build is customizable. You can make any change that you want at the end of the day. Nobody has the right to tell you that it's not the right thing because it's your build. You can do literally whatever you want. So I embrace that stuff. I had the most fun that way, you know what I mean? And the whole point of this for me is just to have a little bit of fun and to relax and to not focus on anything else other than what we're doing currently, which is Minecrafting it out. Now I will say this circuit board, this is going to be another one that we're going to make some adjustments to it. Because you got to remember too, like this is the very first Intrepid class that I've ever built. So there's going to be a trial and error period, you know what I mean? But I like showing this stuff because, I mean, what's the point of this tutorial if I don't go over my whole process? Because, you know, I've mentioned this in the past that I'm not going to say I'm the best teacher. I'm still learning how to do this myself. So, well, not as far as building it, but as far as teaching it. And there's going to be that trial and error period, you know, of coming up with better ways of doing things, coming up with better ways of explaining things. You know, as you guys know, there's some things that I don't talk about as I'm building it out because it is pretty cut and dry with a lot of it. This is why I don't understand sometimes when I get some negative comments. They're like, oh, you didn't tell me to do this. And it's like, dude, like we're literally building like 6 blocks wide and then we're going out one with a cut line and building up. Like that's not hard to do, you know? So, but yeah, you know, with that being said, if there's things that you guys feel that I can work on and do better, let me know in the comments section. Definitely love hearing from everybody, and I do welcome the constructive criticism because at the end of the day, it helps me get better at what I'm doing, and in turn, it will help me put out a better video, well, content for you guys for the channel. But right now we're just trying to get the general shape of the circuit board in place. Now you're going to notice that mine is more straight as opposed to the version, as it looks on the actual model for Voyager. I had done a couple of passes of this off camera when I'm just experimenting and trying to get an idea of what I want to do before I build out, because that is a rule that I do have, is that and it's something that I don't talk about quite enough, and I'm really trying to make a point to mention it more, that it's important to have at least an idea of what you want to do. The last thing you want to do when you're building is not have any idea as far as what you're going to do, because what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a lot of changes that you're going to have to make. This is why I say planning out what you're going to do, the whole process, step by step. It's crucial, because it's going to help your build come out that much better. And you know, there's going to be times where things aren't going to come out exactly the way that you want them to. And you know what? That's okay. People make mistakes. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Nobody on the face of the earth is perfect. Nobody. They just are better at hiding their mistakes from other people. But that's why, like I said, I love to show my mistakes and my whole process, because hopefully the idea behind it is that somebody is learning something from it as opposed to just copying me. Because I'm not one of those people that I'm a gatekeeper to information. I happily give it out, because I know how it feels. I'm telling you guys, like, I didn't just start playing Minecraft one day and I could build ships like this. It was a learning process. And I wish that there were more people within the community that you could seek out at that point, that were more inclined to give you just free information, you know? Even today, like, it seems like there's still, like, people, like, they're for whatever reason, like, they're afraid to show their process without you either being an apprentice or some type of ridiculous process of invisible hoops that you have to jump through just to learn something. And it's like, who has time for that? You know what I mean? Most people, I'd imagine that maybe they've never built something on Minecraft before. Maybe they have. They're looking to do something new, or maybe they love Star Trek, but whatever the reason may be, somebody out there wants to build Voyager, so I've got this content out for you. But, you know, like I said, just make this thing your own. If you want to copy exactly what I have, I say go for it. If you want to make changes, make whatever changes you deem necessary that will make your build look great. But, you know, post your pictures in Discord. This way we can all see what you're working on. Even if it's not Voyager, if it's just any build in general, love seeing that kind of stuff. It's been pretty, one of the things that I've loved the most since I've had my Discord is that it's been easier to communicate with the community, because, like, as an example, where I have somebody that's either having an issue with a certain section of the tutorial, or they just want to show me their build, they can post it in Discord, and it's just so much easier. And I really just enjoyed the whole experience, because I've been able to get to know people that play within the community a little bit better, and I've come across some just awesome people. I've also come across some people that are not so awesome, but we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, you know, like I said, I don't regret any of it, and I'm really happy with the way things are going. We're slowly but surely getting more subscribers on the YouTube, because, you know, we got some cool stuff coming up in the future. We've got the Excelsior 2 class that'll be coming up immediately following Voyager. We've got the Enterprise D Season 2 that'll be coming up, as well as the Enterprise A 2.0 tutorial that'll drop once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So, I mean, we're really not that far off. We're closer than we've ever been. We're only 150 subscribers away from the Enterprise A 2.0 dropping, which is crazy to think that. Literally, I'm right around the corner from it. So that's probably going to come sooner than you think. Anyway, I do want to get back in what I got going on here. Basically what I'm trying to do here, because I'm looking at my reference material for Voyager, and I'm looking at the blocks that I have available to me in Minecraft. One of the things I noticed was that I had a similar issue like when I was working on the Outrider. Like when you're trying to make something that looks like circuit boards or like tubing, like the side of the Millennium Falcon as an example, or the circuit boarding for Voyager. It's kind of hard to build something like that out. And they have blocks that you can use that have gray, and it's primarily gray, and it has either like 3 yellow dots on it, or the 3 red dots are blue, so on and so forth. I did try those out. I did it off camera. And I don't know, it didn't really look right to me. So basically what I'm just trying to do is just simulate something that kind of sort of resembles a circuit board. Whether it's going to come out that way, I don't know. That'll be, up for you guys to decide. But that's just kind of what I'm kind of sort of trying to go for here. It doesn't look bad, but even what I have right now, it is kind of small, and it's also going to basically, we're going to have to rework some of it when we redo the top section of the saucer, because if I'm not mistaken, it's either this gray line right here, or maybe even the starting point of where we have our circuit board. I'm trying to remember where we actually start redoing the layering for the saucer. It's not all of it, but it's just part of it. And if you want to see what I mean by that, to get an idea of that the top section of the saucer is currently a little bit off, look at your saucer from the side, and then look at Voyager from the side. You'll be able to see what I mean. It's just it's specifically what's messing it up right now is the blending. Is as it curves forward, the front of the nose, it's too thick, and it's messing up the whole look of the saucer. Now as you zoom up and out, it really doesn't look that bad, but that side angle is just messing it up for me. And it sucks because like you look at it from this angle, you look at it from the front, it doesn't look bad, but that one side view, it's something to be desired. So we're gonna have to fix that, because that's one of the things I do when I'm building on Minecraft, that after I build something out, because it's funny, my wife will laugh at me sometimes, I will sit here and I will analyze it. I'll look at it from different angles, I'll go back, I'll look at my reference material, I'll see if it's matching up, and I'll just kind of sit there and let it marinate and think about, okay, am I happy with how this has come out? If I'm not, what can I do to fix it? Even if I can fix it, is it going to come out better than what I did before? These are all important things to consider if you're thinking about making a significant change. And then at that point, it's just, you have to kind of decide, is it worth making that change? Is it going to make that much of a difference? And for the top section of Voyager on the saucer, I think that's going to be a big yes. We're just ultimately going to have to do it. It's not something that I want to do, but this is just the way that I look at it. And maybe some people have different opinions when it comes to building, but if I'm spending this much time to build something out, I mean, F it. I might as well just keep going and keep working to get it right, because otherwise, what's the point? It's like, what, you're going to spend anywhere between 4 or 6 weeks working on something, whatever the time frame is, just to have it come out less than what you're happy with? No, I mean, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep working on it until it comes out the way I want it to come out, and however long that takes, that's what it takes, And I didn't always used to be this way with Minecraft. This is something I've kind of had just to force myself to do, because I can see where certain people are coming from. As you're building this out, it can get very exciting. You're just like, okay, I want to move on to the next step. I want to move on to the next step. I want to get this thing done. But I've learned between building on Minecraft and also working with real-life models, building those out, you can't rush stuff like this. You have to take your time. Because in my experience, anytime I've tried to rush the process, whether that's working with Minecraft or physical models, only thing that ends up happening is that something gets messed up and then you have to spend even more time fixing the mistake when your whole goal was to speed up the process. So all I'm basically saying is this is something that you're not going to do over the course of a weekend. It's just not possible to do. Not on this scale, and not if you're, and especially if you've never done it before. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if I had built out Voyager like maybe 2 or 3 times or something like that, yeah, I could probably power my way through building it out in a weekend. But at that point, I'd have the process down. That's why, like, when you guys saw the Disco era Enterprise tutorial, there wasn't a lot of rebuilding on that because of how many times I built a Constitution class. You're going to see the same thing on the Enterprise A 2.0. We don't spend a lot of time rebuilding anything. Really, the only thing that we'll be making an adjustment to on the Enterprise A 2.0 is just the girth of the saucer itself, but the way that I do it and the wireframing, it's not going to be a significant change. It'll be minor, the way that we do it. And it'll make more sense when we get into it. I don't want to talk about it too much until we end up actually building it out. But we're not looking too bad on today's episode. I think we're actually just about done. We've shot through 15 minutes. Didn't feel like a 15-minute episode today. But, you know, this was more of a prep work episode. But, you know, it's just one of those things. We got to get the prep work done here and there. There's going to be minute changes that you're going to be making to your build. But I'm telling you, having this extra attention to detail to those minute changes, one of those changes by itself may not seem like anything, but when you start to add all those changes together, they start to pile on top of each other. And little by little by little, you'll start to notice a significant change. But yeah, this was, I want to briefly go back to this just before we wrap up today's episode. But this is where I was talking about, like, from this angle, the top section of Voyager on the saucer, it looks fine. But I'm telling you, go down and look at it from a side view, you're going to see what I mean. This area right here, it comes just way too forward. It should be swooping back a lot more than it is. And you really can only see it when you look at it from a side view. But with that being said, we are going to fix that, I promise. I will show you guys how to do that. But I do think that's going to wrap it up for me today. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. If you did enjoy this content, please help me out. Hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. Drop those comments below. That helps my analytics and it helps my channel grow. So I really appreciate everybody that takes the time to do that. If you have any questions regarding today's episode, just dropping by to say hey. Definitely love hearing from everybody. But I think that's going to do it for me. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode, and I hope everybody has a happy and safe week, and I'll catch you in the next episode. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section, post your photos in Discord.